Hey everybody, Shrike here. Today I wanted to look at Itis. You see her on the top of every tier list, you hear everyone say she's the best tank, but have they told you why? Probably. But let's look into it. Before I go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. I'm Shrike. I cover gacha games. The extent to which I cover them will largely depend on whether I think it's worth my time or not. So if you like gacha games, or this game in particular, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Itis. Can I send you? No, I can't. So, first of all, she's the water element, which is totally fitting because she, lives in the water. She's of that ocean tree, Atalata, and she tamed a Leviathan. So her specialty is in protecting allies by forming shields. That is her thing. That's what she do. The problem is, at a low level, she's pretty squishy. You really gotta invest in her. You gotta unlock the skills. You've gotta gear her up. You've gotta focus on anything with defense. Yeah, just stack anything with defense and HP that you can onto her. As soon as you reach UR1, slap some optimizations on her, and, well, it doesn't actually list it anywhere, but make sure you go to the Asnia school and you get her some badges with HP and defense, evasion, all that. The tanky stuff. Because she's your front line, she is going to be hit first, and if she's not a good level, she's not going to make it to her first turn or her first ultimate where she's going to be putting on those shields. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, see, I've got it right here. I've got block efficiency, defense, and defense here. That's a UR level 1. So let's take a look at her skills. You're going to be getting every character for free, and so the free-to-playness of this game is completely wide open. I can talk about any character as being free-to-play, so any team is free-to-play. So you're guaranteed to get Itis as long as you sign in for enough days in a row to get her. Let's take a look at her Awake ultimate. Deals damage equal to 165% of her defense, so even her attack scales off her defense. 2 enemies within the area, which is a cone, provokes the enemies, so even more likely that they'll attack her, and casts a shield equal to 100% of her defense for 2 seconds on this proxy, just her. And it casts Leviathan's Wrath effect on this proxy, removed when EP is depleted. Can we see what that is? Yes. Changes the damage multiplier of basic attacks to damage equal to 180% of defense. Cast a shield equal to 100% of defense for 2 seconds on every basic attack. Okay, so let's go to her skill. This is just deals 120% damage to an ally within range. Casts a shield equal to 250% of this proxy's defense on all allies. That is active skill 1. So already her ultimate casts a shield on her. Her skill 1 casts a shield on all allies for 4 seconds, equal to 250 of her defense. If the recipient is blue, casts a shield equal to 325 of this proxy's defense, for 7 seconds instead. So let's go back here. Leviathan's Wrath says, change the damage multiplier of basic attacks to damage equal to 180% of defense. What is it? It's 120, so it beefs it up by 60%. And then casts a shield equal to 100% of defense for 2 turns on every basic attack. Okay, well, this is already casting a shield equal to 250, so when it's the same ability, I believe the stronger one takes precedent. And since this one doesn't, this second active skill doesn't create a shield, I'm sure that that's why her Leviathan's Wrath ability exists. It's to tack on the shield creating ability onto Breath of Judgment as well. It's just a smaller shield. Deals 150% damage to an enemy within the range. Provokes the enemy, again, another skill that provokes. deals 50% damage to the enemy within range. So this attacks twice. 150% and then 50% after provoking them. And it silences the enemy so they can't use ultimates. I think it basically just means that... Oh, it's right here. Prevents the target from using their skills. Let's take a look at her passive. Casts one coercion effect 1 second, lasting 1 second every second on enemies within range. That's just her passive. Stacks increase at closer distance from the enemy, which should happen pretty quickly because she's taunting them, so they're going to come right up to her. Coercion is reduces damage dealt by 4.5. So she puts an attack debuff on them and reduces damage resistance by 4.5. So they take more damage, they deal less damage. Very cool. Now this is only available if you have her plugin, and I'd say that out of all the characters, she gets a lot from adding her plugin compared to the others. The others get a cool option. This does something really cool, but I might use it sometimes, I might not use it. This one is always going to be super useful. This and the Blossom Ultimate. Grants the following effects when allies are under a shield, which should be all the time with all of her shields in her kit. Increases block efficiency by 30%. Sweet. Increases attack speed by 12%. Very good. If the recipient is blue, increases defense by an additional 20%, which she's blue. Her defense would be raised by 20, and her shields would be greater, because her shields are based off of her defense. And I believe... No, it's not that one. Was it this one? Yeah, damage equal to 165% of her defense. So even her damage is based on the defense. So with that passive, her damage is even increased. But this is the one you really want to put on her. You want the Blossom on most of the time, because it knocks the enemies within the area of effect airborne, for one, casts a level 3 attack down effect lasting for 1 second on all enemies, every second for 5 seconds. So essentially it lasts for 5 seconds. And grants the following effects to all allies. A shield equal to 250% of her defense, which will be higher with the plug-in effect, lasting for 1 second, every second for 5 seconds. If the recipient is blue, casts another shield equal to 375% of this proxian's defense for 2 seconds. Oh, so it's not an additional one, it's instead. So a stronger version if they're blue. So she has so many shields in her kit. Even her basic attacks put a shield on. The only thing is, this Blossom doesn't have the Leviathan's Wrath. No. Yeah, it doesn't have the Leviathan's Wrath. That adds the shield to every basic attack. So this ability, if you have the Awake version, this ability will be the only thing that doesn't put a shield on. But you'll be missing out on that. You'll be missing out on getting shields on all allies, and a chunkier shield on any Consolidator blue allies. And knocking the enemies airborne is just cool. Let's take a look at that. Boom. How are you going to attack if you're in the air? Come on. So units she can work with? Anybody. She's the tank, she's the front line. She's the head of the phalanx. It really doesn't matter who you put behind her or with her. Any healer, any damage dealer, any ranger, any support. She's going to do her job just fine. The only thing I will say is units like Helona can work well with Consolidator allies. So they'll benefit with Itis as the tank, as opposed to, say, Melissa as the tank. But yeah, that's all about all I have. I'm gonna fly now. See you in the next one. Bye.